All right, if you are not completely shredded right now, completely shredded, chiseled, 7% body fat, 8%, 6% even, well, I'm gonna give it to you right now. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do, because I was going back through all my videos, and right now, actually, you're gonna see a big change with this channel. I'm removing a lot of videos. Because after about 2015, as we went into 2016, it got very, very fucking redundant. And the fucking essence of what I was teaching happened right in 2015. Right, especially the last few months of 2015. That is when really Kinobody was born. And it got redundant, you know. I don't need to get into why that happened. But that's the fact of the matter. So I'm getting rid of a lot of redundant videos and letting the real videos sit there. So if anyone is new to this channel, if anyone 30 years from now wants to go and check it out, they can fucking get the essence. Now, this video is going to really solve a lot of problems, because I'm going to discuss why the Chipotle pop chip chocolate diet is probably the best diet in the world to get shredded. It's 2019, okay? We've been talking about fitness for fucking decades, forever. The research, everything is freaking done. The research, we know how to get lean. What is the actual issue? Okay, and I'm sure there's people making videos about, oh, Gregory eats chocolate before bed, that's unhealthy. What is the actual issue, okay? Why do we walk around, go walk down the street? Why is everyone in such shit shape, okay? Everyone is struggling, you know? Even people that seem like they're in shape, they're 10 pounds overweight. The issue isn't that we don't know how to lose fat. We fucking know this. The real issue is it's two things. One, tracking is really hard. Tracking your calories is really hard. People that think they're doing 2,000 calories, fuck off. You're doing 3,000. That's the reality. You're not even close to 2,000. Especially the ones that think they're doing 2,000 or even 1,200. I'm 1,200, I'm not losing weight. You're not hitting it. Sorry. Maybe you hit it for a couple days and then you eat 4,000 calories. And that doesn't count, okay? You know, you can spend, cut back on your spending and spend $20 a day, and then at the end of the month, you blow 2,000, doesn't work. Same thing with their body. You can't do the binge eating, doesn't work. That's why when I see these experts talk about cheat days, are you kidding me? If I did a full out cheat day, I could gain 2 pounds of fat. Eating is easy. I uncovered the strategies I teach on this channel because I struggled. Because if it was that easy for me, I wouldn't have come across this. But I have digressed. There's two issues. One, tracking is really, really difficult, okay? When you're eating 6 meals a day, when you're having to eat all this random food and cook all this, your tracking is guaranteed to be off. And even if it's not off, all that mental energy and willpower that goes into tracking everything, it burns you out. And then you end up screwing up on your diet. You can't stick to it, okay? Remember, I'm saying this about myself, and fitness is my undying passion. I love this stuff. I love it. It's my job in a sense. And I can't even do that, okay? But again, most of these fitness competitors, they're lean for a couple weeks a year and then they're riding around 15% body fat. Who cares? Where the real benefit happens is being lean year round, being razor sharp, having defined facial features, being ripped. There's even life extension benefits to being leaner, thus because you're eating a lower calorie diet. There's plenty of research on this. Even having excessive muscle size, like these guys are 200, 210, 220 pounds, the high BMI can definitely correlate to reduced lifespan, even if it's a lot of muscle. That's why I laugh when I see these guys try and get fucking huge. There's no benefit in doing that. The benefit comes from being really lean. That's when you see Hollywood actors. They're chiseled. That's what gets them the movie roles. Yeah, they got to be a good actor, but Ryan Reynolds, Brad Pitt, these guys, Zac Efron, you think they'd do that well if they were 15% body fat? It's not just even in film, it's in other areas. You stand out when you get that razor sharp definition that very few people can achieve. And so yeah, it's tracking, okay? And we're gonna get to the whole essence in a second, and it's adherence. Those are the only two issues we're facing. Literally the only two issues we're facing when it comes down to getting really, really lean. Tracking is really difficult, so we end up eating too much, or we gravitate to eating way too little and then we end up binge eating and then gaining weight. And secondly, adhering to a diet with a lot of rules that's not that fun, it's not that satisfying, sucks. So go find another fitness YouTuber that's consistently stayed at 6 to 8% body fat with the DEXA scans to prove it for 5 years. I don't know any, okay? And again, my genetics for getting lean, I have a massive appetite. I can eat more than anyone. I remember being 195 pounds. I was bigger. I wasn't fat, but I was 15, 16, 17, 16% body fat. And I was trying so hard to diet, but I was fucking binge eating and gaining. And it was the only thing I cared about. And I was putting in so much work, and I was just fucking, it was brutal. It was brutal. So here's where the diet came in. So what I realized after years and years and years of struggling, okay, and full disclosure, okay, when I was even getting into fasting in 2011, doing my own research, putting these together, I hired a coach, okay? I hired a coach. First person I hired, Andy Morgan, okay? And he gave me a nutrition plan to follow, and certain things were helpful for it, like, oh, I like how the way he tracks the macros, cool, but I couldn't stick to the diet. He had me on 1,300 calories a day on rest days and like 1,900 on workout days. I was fucking starving, and the diet was impossible to stick to. I didn't even do one day. I couldn't even do one day. And that was, I actually wanted to work with Martin Burkhan back then, but he didn't email me back till years later. And then at that point, I kind of already figured it out, but I'm like, you know what? It's $1,000. I'm like, let's just see what he says, see if I learn anything new from it. And again, the diet was shit. 260 grams of protein a day. It was way too difficult to follow. And when you eat that much protein, your carbs and fats are low, and that's when I had low testosterone. That's when I had low testosterone issues, sex drive issues. Couldn't stick to it. No way. Like, I didn't even do one day. Okay, does not work. If you're gonna stay lean as a natural, you can't go that high in protein. Your carbs and fats go down. You can't stick to it. And for me, if my carbs and fats are too low, I get these cravings. I want to eat. And so I can never finish a day on a high protein, low carb, or high protein, low fat. I'm never satisfied, and then I binge, and then I don't stick to it. So when I got really fucking shredded, really fucking shredded, 2015, that photo they keep throwing around, what was I doing? I was 169 pounds, literally 169 pounds. And also right now I'm like 180. So I was 169 pounds. I was just fucking lean. I was just, on the DEXA, I probably would have scored 5.5%. You know, does that mean I was actually 5.5? No, it could have been 6.5, but I was probably the leanest of my life. What I was doing was simple. I fasted, okay? I did like two tall Americano Starbucks to blunt my hunger. I always waited the first hour or two before I had that first coffee, because then it blunts your hunger way better when you wait an hour before you have coffee, or wait 2 hours. I would stave off hunger in the afternoon with a apple, banana, 2 pieces of fruit, 200 calories. My first meal was a triple steak Chipotle bowl. Triple steak, no rice. I didn't even do rice just because I could have done a half scoop of rice, but it just, sometimes they do a bigger scoop, smaller scoop. It's just all over the place. So I didn't even do rice. I did fajita veggies, lots of cheese, beans, and that was like about 1,000 calorie bowl, 1,100. Now I would do the guac because it's fucking amazing. But back then, that's what I did. And then after that, okay, so that was about 1,000 calorie bowl plus 2 pieces of fruit. Let's say it's 1,100. Okay, we're at 1,300 calories max. And then I'd have a 600 calorie green and black chocolate bar, which was friggin' delicious. It was about 550, 600, and I was so satisfied at that point. Okay, that put me at 1,900. And then my last thing I ate was pop chips, 370 calories. So I got up to maybe 2,200 calories-ish max, 2,200, maybe at the very most 2,300. And that's what I stuck to, and I got leaner every day. Now, if you think you're actually doing 2,300 calories, you're probably not. And the reason that worked was because the tracking was so easy. 2 pieces of fruit, boom. Same Chipotle bowl, boom. And you know what? I've had other meals that kind of mimic those calories. You know, I'd go out for a big steak and a baked potato, whatever. But that was mostly what I was doing. The Chipotle, boom, 1,100 calories. Chocolate, boom, easy, and that was so satisfying. Oh my God. And I remember when I started adding the chocolates on my diet, like I felt literally better from having that extra fat, that extra content, you know, not going so, because in the past I was going to either low carb or low fat. Like my fucking morning woods were epic with the chocolate. And then the pop chips. And then it was just, you couldn't fail. I couldn't screw up. It was just leaner. It was the consistency. So the biggest issue we're facing is, so the tracking was solved with that diet. Secondly, okay, and you know, maybe if you're 220 pounds, you can go a little bit higher. You can kind of bring that up a bit. And if you're 150 pounds, you have to go a bit lower, unfortunately. Our metabolism is actually a lot more fixed than we think. Okay, it's very heavily related to your body mass, your size, your muscle mass, your height. Okay, and activity, well, let's face it, we're mostly sedentary. I try and get 10,000 steps a day, hit the weights a few days a week. I punch Bob for probably 10 minutes a week. So like if twice a week, I'll punch him for 5 minutes. It doesn't really count. But we're sedentary. So our activity, our metabolism is very fixed on how big we are. Now, how does that tie into the second part is I could stick to that. I could fucking stick to that so easily. It was a joke. And that's when you get really, really lean. When you can stick to your diet effortlessly. It requires no willpower. If it requires willpower, it's a losing game. You're going to break. I'm sorry, you're going to break. Yeah, you could probably get lean for, you know, a month or so if you're lucky, but you're going to break. And so people make videos, oh, you know, pop chips, highs, eating this. Fucking, who else is this shredded for 5 years? No one. And this is why my clients, you know, they get my programs, they get lean. They get lean at a higher success rate than anyone else. Anyone else. Fact of the fucking matter. It's the chocolate, it's the pop chips. And, you know, sometimes, you know, when I kind of get too relaxed, I'm like, oh, you know, like I mix up the meals too much, this and that, you know, I'll kind of plateau for months and months and months. And then it's, you know, leanness. When you're at the, you know, 8 or 10, 12, 13, but even higher, so sometimes the fat loss, it's not just this linear thing. It's like you're kind of doing things, and then you just fucking lock in on the right thing. You got the tracking solved, boom. You got the adherence solved. It's so easy to hear, and then that consistency is automatic. That's when shit really, really happens well. That's when things go so well. And then, you know, that's enough to get you so lean. But what really took my physique to the next level at that time period was I figured out that, you know, having that freaking movie star physique is a simple calculation. Okay, let's put this in perspective. I was obsessed about fitness since I was like freaking way too young. 6 years old, my dad was doing push-ups. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to get jacked. I had action figures. I want to look like them. I was obsessed with this stuff since day one. At 13, I was on these forums. I was one of the most active people on Ross Training, which is a forum for training for like getting strong and fit and athletic and conditioning for martial arts and boxing. I was crazy active. I was in school and class on fitness stuff. I bought all these books, okay? For Christmas, when I was like 14, what did I ask my mom? I asked her to buy me this workout manual online, Matt Fury. And then that was kind of bullshit. That was kind of marketing hype. I didn't get too much value from that. But then I found Ross Anime, who was fucking dope. I got into all this shit. I started learning from Joe DeFranco. This was like fucking, you know? So what I realized, then I learned about some bodybuilding, learned about from Kelly Baggett, kind of realized, as I kind of ciphered through everything, I just realized, fucking, there's only one thing you gotta do. Ultimately, that's gonna deliver like 99% of your results. Let's get fucking strong. That's it. Get strong. That's it. That's all you need to do. Get fucking strong. And so my physique looked the best when I was fucking lean as shit. Leaner than anyone else wants to get to. But I was able to do it and really enjoy it. And because of the way the diet was, because I didn't go too high in protein, I got sufficient protein, got my balance of fats and carbs, and I took my time. I didn't do 1,600 calories. I did 2,200. I felt good. I felt really good. But so I realized you gotta get fucking strong. You gotta get really strong. And in that period leading up to 2016, when I looked my fucking best, I kind of started to just Bruce Lee, like get rid of the unessential. And my training got reduced down to 3 exercises per workout. Okay, Monday, we'll see. This was going to be the Physique Mastery Guide. We'll see if I end up launching this in some way, shape, or form. There's 3 exercises on Monday. Incline bench, barbell curl. I wouldn't do barbell curls anymore because they can be rough on the elbow. That probably didn't help my elbow injury that ensued. But again, incline bench, bicep exercise, rear delts, rest pause style. Wednesday, I did a very minimal leg workout. I probably could have done a little bit more for the legs, but I just pretty much just did pistol squats and calf raises. I could have done a little bit more there, but the point was, I looked fucking good. And on Friday, I did weighted chin-ups, overhead presses, tricep extensions. Most of this was reverse pyramid, and then I did rest pause lateral raises. I distilled my training down to just that. Basically, 3 exercises. Friday was 4, Wednesday was 2. Again, I would increase the legs a little bit now. But so this is when you look really fucking good. Simple calculation. I got my incline press up to like 272.5 pounds at 169 for 5 fucking nuts. I got my weighted chin-ups up to like 145 for 4 or 5, which is crazy. I got my overhead press up to 192.5 pounds for 5, I believe. At 169, just fucking ridiculous strength. And I was doing that rest pause work on my shoulders. I got those shoulders fucking capped. This was when I freaking looked insane. And so, the diet, like, what about, we want to eat protein before bed, want to do this. This one I fucking stick to. And there's not too many other fitness people out there that can actually do that. They can actually get lean for life and freaking enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. If you can't enjoy it, you're not going to stick to it. And then you're going to be fucking riding this 12% body fat bullshit. You got to be lean. That's what separates the Kino fucking warriors from everyone else. We're chiseled. We're lean. That's what you get, that movie star look. And I just want to share this video because I just want to give you immense value right now. I do feel like this channel, if I really wanted to make a move, it would have been to fucking just after 2016, just kind of lay low and post a couple videos every few months. That's what I, retrospectively, that's what, but you have pressures and, you have new people and you got to keep things consistent and you're trying to follow the YouTube thing, but that's what I would have done retrospectively. I would have held back and been really intentional about what I put out there. And you know what? The next video I do, hopefully it's a full day of eating because those are fun. So you can see it in full action. And I'm doing a different variation that I really like. So it's a different kind of play, but the idea is you make the tracking so automatic, so effortless, so easy. And it's so enjoyable to follow. This 17-minute video, literally, you could go and buy 1,000 diet books and nothing will get you as shredded as what I just showed you in this 18-minute video. Now, crazy enough, with that diet, I was probably only getting about 100 to 120 grams of protein. That Chipotle bowl had a ton of steak and cheese, but the pop chips, chocolate, fruit has a little bit of trace protein, but nothing substantial. So that diet was a little bit too low in protein based on the research. I should have gone about 140 grams of protein per day, but I was around maybe 100 to 120, so I was a little bit low. But it worked. It worked so well. In the past, when I tried to do 160, 70, 180 grams of protein, I always found myself wanting to eat a bit more food. I needed those carbs and fats at 2,200 calories to really keep me satisfied and to allow my hormonal levels to flourish, because as we know through research, going too low in carbs, going too low in fats affects your testosterone levels negatively. And some people might be less sensitive to that. Some people might be able to handle a little bit less carbs better, but for me, I was very sensitive to that. So I seen better results in my physique and my leanness and my strength, and I made strength gains at that protein level. But now I'm erring on the safer side. I break my fast. I'll throw in a collagen protein shake, 20 grams of protein, and for my workouts, I'll do our Kino aminos at 5,000 milligrams of leucine, HMB, and that's like the equivalent of eating 40, 50 grams of protein. So those two little things, and sometimes I'll throw in a couple eggs at night, but those few little things add a bit more protein for a little bit better results. But again, the point was I got my best physique at about, or at that point, that was my best physique. So people get way too focused on following all these rules, trying to get everything freaking perfect. And then the tracking gets too difficult and the adherence becomes impossible. And those are really when things happen. You get the tracking down, you get the adherence down, and consistency is effortless. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I'm excited to see kind of what happens with this channel. I mean, most of really what I've wanted to say has been said. So maybe we'll do a little day in the life or a full day of eating vlogs, some fun stuff like the old days. I just really love when I was putting out a video just to put it out, just to share something. It wasn't about the views, it wasn't about getting people to go through the program. It was just sharing something because I really wanted to. And that's what I want to get back to. Or, you know, at least not post when it doesn't feel natural. So yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. We have some cool stuff coming out with Kinobody. Working on what I think is gonna be this dopest fucking clothing line, where if you build that physique I talk about, that leanness, the nice shoulders, this clothing line is gonna just capture that physique effortlessly. You're gonna wear it, you're gonna look fucking so good. And it's effortless. That's the way we cut it. So it shows that V shape without being too tight and douchey. Like really cool stuff. Henleys, waffle shirts, pocket shirts, raglans, just very Brad Pitt Fight Club kind of look. So that's what I'm really looking at, and I'll probably share some videos on that in the coming months. But that's what I'm excited about. But you know, it's most of really what I figured out in 2015, leading up to 2016. Most. I've learned some more cool shit, but the fundamentals were there. And so the channel, I'm cleaning it up so that every single video that you land on has got something awesome to share with you. And we'll see. I don't know. We're gonna see what's gonna go on. You know, I might think about doing a podcast again with our coach Scott, and we're doing a coaching program with our people on our program where we get on calls every week, and I love that. That's awesome. It's one of my favorite things. But yeah. Okay. Nice chatting with you. Next time we'll do a video. It'll be really dope. Be a nice full day of eating. See you soon.